Hello friends, it's funkyplaybrothers, and please remember to subscribe to YouTube. And today I'm reading He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Tales of Eternia, The Hunt for Mossman, a Netflix animated series by Gregory Malm, Book 1. This is the book where they hunt for Mossman. And the next book is I, Skeletor. Now let's read. Chapter. Oh yes, and also there's a little cast of characters in the book. This is everyone that's in the book, and it gives you a brief or almost brief what they're like. I will post all of these on social medias. There is He-Man, Sorceress, Battle Cat, Man-at-Arms, Ram Man, then the Dark Masters, Skeletor, Evelyn, Trapjaw, Beastman, other key characters, Eldorus, King Randor, Orko, Mossman, and Odysseus. Don't know what that is. Okay. Chapter 1, Present Day. A young girl squinted in the bright morning sunlight. She yawned, sat up in bed, and peered through her window at her beloved flowers in the garden outside. Dead. Each and every daisy was dead. The petals were brown, the stems were withered, sickly stalks that looked as if the life had been sucked right out of them. Yet she checked them only the night before. They were perfectly healthy. Then clearly something terrible had happened in the night. The girl opened her window. A light morning breeze blew into her room, and although the air was cool, the stench was horrific. Immediately, she staggered back and fell onto the floor. Her nose felt like it was on fire. Her skin seemed to be coated with toxic air. She raced to the foot of her parents' bed across the hall. The scent struck her mother first, who sprang upright. Use the bathroom, please. The girl pressed back against the wall of her parents' bedroom beside the door. That wasn't me. Now her father coughed and spat into a cup on his bedside table. Ugh, it smells like a merman's armpit. If I didn't feel like I was about to heave, I'd almost be proud that my daughter could produce something so nauseous. I didn't do it. How do you know what a merman's armpit smells like? Her mother asked. Never mind that, her father snapped. Don't deny it, child. You're to blame. You never eat your vegetables. His words were muffled as he pressed your bedsheet over his mouth and nose. You don't drink enough water either. Her mother added, grabbing the bedsheet away from her husband. And this is what happens. The girl stomped one of her bare feet on the wooden floor. It wasn't me, she insisted. Her frustrated parents were about to respond when they noticed something odd about the revolting breeze. There was a thickness to it, a heaviness, and the air was a putrid shade of yellow. Really, dear, what did you eat? Her mother pressed. I told you it wasn't me, the girl exclaimed. It's coming from outside. It killed my flowers too. Your flowers? Her father replied. The ones in the garden. His face turned pale as he turned to his wife. The corn. The family depended on farming as did everyone else in their village. The three of them rushed outside, each wearing makeshift masks, and stumbled onto a terrible scene. The towering green stalks that they had stretched from their house to the woods only the one day before were bent over and blackened. Only a small patch of healthy corn remained to the east. The wind shifted, the yellow air swirled towards the last living plants on their land, and the healthy green stalks bent over and died, straggled by the toxic stink. Our crop, the father cried. Our farm, the mother muttered. My nose, the girl added. Behind the house, a small hill rose from the landscape. The yellow air swept upward, turning the grass yellow and sending the family's dozen sheep sprinting madly in all directions. The poor creatures ran as if they were being chased by a rabid dog. The girl dashed up the hill from the top and could see the other farms that made up their village at this time. The lands were normally a bright, beautiful green. Now overnight, everything had turned lifeless and brown. The girl gasped. Her father panted from the run, fell to his knees. A river of toxic air flowered east. Every farm, as far as they could see, was ruined. The girl's father was dumbfounded. If his own crop was dead, he could have hoped to depend on his neighbors, but if everyone in the village had nothing to harvest or sell or trade, what then? How could any of them survive? What is in the name of King Randor is happening? The father asked. I don't know, the mother responded. I just don't know. All across the planet Eternia, similar tragedies were striking. Families and farms. The nauseous yellow wind snaked across the land, twisting and curling east and west, north and south, killing every plant and flower it touched. Tiny flies dropped from the skies. Birds flapped away in panic. Lettuce whittled. Kale crumbled. Potatoes with a tiny 2 next to its name, hidden deep in the soil, shriveled when the stink brushed against their exposed leaves. Griffins buried their noses in their feathered wings. Sandipees tunneled deep beneath the desert surface. Even dim-witted navets, which have hardly any sense of smell, hopped into their hiding places out of olfactory disgust. The girl and her parents remained on top of that hill for some time, staring at the destruction. Although her father had invoked the name of King Randor, the former ruler of Eternos, could not help them now. A new leader sat in his throne in the palace, a brutal, evil, and power-starved villain named What? Now Skeletor rules? The girl and her parents knew little about Skeletor, but on the news that traveled to their village, they guessed he would not rush to their rescue. Yet the stories of Skeletor were not the only ones traveling across Eternia. In those days, they'd also heard tales of a new team of heroes, a powerful band that was fighting back against Skeletor and his horrifying horde. Looking off into the distance, the girl raised her hand and whispered, I hope the master of the universe can help us now. That's the end of chapter 1. And I have some things to answer questions. In the actual TV show that has this kind of art style, King Randor is still king. And how did Skeletor become king? It says this is the present. What is... Yeah, this is the present. How did he become king? I need to know. Gotta keep reading to find out, but if it never tells us how did he become king. So, friends, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow us on our social medias, Funky Play Brothers and Funky Play Bros. Support us on our cash apps, the $sign Funky Play Brothers. Thanks for watching. Bye.